Welcome back to Byte-Sized Tech, ready to geek out on some gadget goodness today.
Always. What's on the menu for today's deep dive?
Well, we're going to shake things up a bit. How about a TV review?
Okay, I'm intrigued. Which screen is stealing the spotlight this time?
It's TCL, and get this, they've kind of thrown a curveball with this one.
Oh, how so?
So it's their new QM6K model, right? But they skipped the whole CES hype thing.
No Iran reveal, straight to the shelf. That's a bold strategy.
Right. Usually we'd see it teased at CES, then a long wait, and then the release. But the QM6K, nope, it just dropped. It's a surprise album.
So is it an instant hit or just an impulsive move?
Well, the early reviews are pretty interesting, like genuinely positive, so we're going to unpack all that.
Color me intrigued. First impressions, what's the unboxing experience like?
Kind of a mixed bag, according to our source. Sleek, modern design, but the packaging, a little on the flimsy side.
Ah, that's a shame. What about the stand? Anything fancy going on there?
Plastic legs.
Really? Plastic. For a mid-ranger aiming for that premium vibe.
Yep, surprised me too. Maybe they figured most folks are wall-mounting these days.
Maybe. But hey, at least they nailed the remote, right?
Yeah, the remote is a definite win. Finally, a backlit layout. No more squinting in the dark.
And they finally added a dedicated YouTube button. It's the little things.
I know, right? Simple, but it makes all the difference. Speaking of simple, let's talk ports.
All right, lay it on me. What's the QM6K rocking?
Pretty standard stuff, actually. Two 4K 60Hz HDMI ports, but one of them is A-enabled.
Ooh, nice. Gamers, rejoice. No more compromising on quality for your consoles or PC.
Exactly. And for anyone out there who might not be familiar with the tech lingo,
EIC lets you send high-quality audio from the TV to a soundbar or surround sound system. Basically, it's your ticket to a proper cinematic audio experience.
no more settling for those tinny built-in TV speakers.
Pretty much. And TCL even threw in a little something extra for the gamers, a Game Master setting.
Oh, tell me more about that.
So it basically streamlines all those gaming-related settings, makes tweaking things a breeze. A good thing, especially for folks who aren't super tech-savvy.
Nice. Sounds like they're really going all in on the gaming crowd with this one. But let's get to the real star of the show, the picture. How does the QM6K actually look?
Oh, this is where it gets exciting. The reviewer was blown away by the color accuracy, especially in filmmaker mode.
Filmmaker mode. That's the one that's supposed to be like the director intended, right?
Exactly. Apparently, the QM6K's color accuracy in that mode is incredibly close to professional reference standards. That's unheard of in this price bracket.
So it's not just about the fancy features. This TV actually delivers on the visuals.
Big time. And it's not just the colors. Black levels are exceptional thanks to some seriously effective local dimming. Imagine tiny spotlights behind the screen illuminating only the areas that need it.
That's how you get that amazing depth and contrast, right?
Precisely. It's a level of detail you usually see in high-end models.
Now, what about brightness? Some TVs struggle in well-lit rooms.
The QM6K has an SDR brightness of 150 nits. Good for a movie night with the lights dimmed.
Okay, so maybe not ideal for watching in broad daylight.
You might want to bump it up a bit for daytime viewing, but for those late-night movie marathons, it's perfect. And for HDR content, it peaks at 750 nits.
Not the absolute brightest, but the reviewer seemed impressed with the overall contrast. Anything else about the picture stand out?
Yeah, they specifically praised the color accuracy in challenging scenes, like those with diverse skin tones. Apparently, TCL has really upped their calibration game.
That's awesome to hear. Now, historically, VA panels have had one weak spot. Viewing angles. If you're not sitting right in front, the picture quality drops.
Oh yeah, I know the struggle. But guess what? The reviewer actually called out the QM6K for being significantly better than past TCL models and even some competitors.
So wider viewing angles, good for the whole family. Everyone gets a prime view, no matter where they're planted on the couch.
Exactly. Perfect for those movie nights with friends, too. It could be due to some fine-tuned HVA tech or even some secret sauce TCL isn't telling us about.
Secret sauce, gotta love it. So far, the QM6K is checking a lot of boxes. But now I'm really curious about the sound. The review mentioned dual subwoofer, so I'm hoping for some decent oomph.
Well, that's where things take a slight dip. The reviewer described the sound as unremarkable. Not terrible, but not amazing either.
Oh, that's a shame. What's the issue?
Apparently the treble is a bit weak, which can muddy the dialogue a bit. You know, that classic struggle of trying to hear what the characters are saying.
Ugh, yeah, the worst.
It's not a deal breaker, but you'll probably want a soundbar for a richer audio experience. And here's the kicker. TCL was actually offering a free soundbar with early purchases of the QM6K.
Oh, interesting. Almost like they knew the built-in speakers weren't their strong suit. Okay, before we wrap this part up, how does the QM6K stack up against last year's QM7?
From what I've gathered, the QM6K prioritizes color accuracy and a cleaner overall picture over sheer brightness. They also bumped up the refresh rate to a native 144 Hz panel.
A 144 Hz panel. That's a gamer's dream. Super smooth motion.
Right. Plus, a reviewer even suggested the QM6K could actually outperform upcoming Hisense models in overall picture quality.
Wow, that's a bold statement. Sounds like TCL is serious about shaking things up. And under $1,000, that's pretty impressive.
It is. But let's not jump to conclusions just yet. There are still a few key features we need to take a closer look at in part 2 of our deep dive.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back after a short break.
It's really interesting to see TCL launch a TV this early in the year. It's almost like they're setting a challenge to the other brands. You know what I mean?
Right, like they're saying, hey, this is what we can do, top this, and it's working. People are already buzzing about it. Some are even comparing it to those older TCL models, the 6 Series and 8 Series.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. Those totally changed the game for budget-friendly TVs. Incredible value.
And it seems like they're trying to do that again, but this time in the mid-range category with a QM6K.
Makes sense. Not everyone's going to drop a ton on a top-of-the-line TV, but people still want a great picture, you know.
And that's what the QM6K seems to deliver. It punches above its weight class, like you said, in terms of features and performance.
It's like they're redefining what a mid-range TV can be.
Totally. And if this is just their first offering for 2025, who knows what else they have up their sleeve.
Yeah, imagine if the QM6K is already this good. What will the QM7 and QM8 look like?
Okay, let's bring it back to the QM6K and talk about that 144 Hz panel.
Oh yeah, the holy grail for gamers. No bag, no motion blur, just pure buttery smooth action.
So it's perfect for fast-paced games, but wouldn't it also benefit, like, regular viewing, too?
Absolutely. It makes everything look crisper and more lifelike. You know how sometimes you get that motion glare, especially in action scenes or camera pans?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
A higher refresh rate minimizes that, so everything just flows smoother.
So for anyone out there who's considering the QM6K, that 144 Hz panel is a huge plus. Whether you're a gamer or just want the best viewing experience.
It's a major selling point for sure. And when you combine that with those deep blacks, the color accuracy, and those wider viewing singles, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, especially considering it's under $1,000.
Sounds like TCL found that sweet spot, a premium viewing experience without the premium price tag.
That's what makes the QM6K so impressive. It offers incredible value, and it's pushing the industry forward. Other companies are definitely taking notes.
And that's great for us, right? More competition means better products, more choices.
Exactly. Competition breeds innovation. It'll be interesting to see how other brands react to TCL's moves in the coming months. What do you think? Will we see more early releases and aggressive pricing?
I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe even more of those bundle deals. Could be a game changer for the industry.
And the winners are the consumers. More options, better prices, what's not to like?
Okay, so let's talk to our listeners. What do you guys think about all this? Would you buy a TV this early in the year, or would you wait to see what else comes out? Let us know in the comments.
We love hearing your thoughts.
All right, let's circle back to the audio situation with the QM6K. We know the built-in speakers aren't great, but do you think it's a deal breaker?
It's a bit of a disappointment, for sure. You get this fantastic picture, and then the sound is just okay. It feels like a missed opportunity, especially with that free soundbar deal they were offering.
Right. It's almost like they were aware of the issue and trying to compensate for it.
Maybe, but it also highlights something we talked about earlier, the importance of looking at the complete picture when you're buying a TV. It's not just about the screen or the specs, it's about how you'll use it and the overall experience you want.
Absolutely. A good soundbar can make a huge difference, especially for movies, gaming, or if you just appreciate quality sound.
Totally agree. It can elevate the whole experience. So zooming out, let's talk about TCL's overall strategy here. It feels like they're aiming for something bigger than just releasing a good TV.
Yeah. What's the end game, do you think?
It seems like they're making a play to become the leaders in the mid-range TV market. They want to be the brand people think of when they want quality without spending a ton of money.
So just like they disrupted the budget-friendly category a few years ago.
Exactly. And I think they have a good chance. The QM6K has a lot going for it. The picture quality, the gaming-focused features, the price point, and that early release strategy.
It was a bold move, but it seems to be working. They got everyone's attention while other brands were still prepping for CES.
And now they have that momentum going into the rest of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see other brands following their lead.
Yeah, it could really shake things up in the TV market, but ultimately it's a win for us, the consumers. More competition always benefits us.
Absolutely. So what does this mean for our listeners?
Do your research, compare models, and figure out what features are important to you. There are so many options out there now.
And if you're looking for a TV that offers a great viewing experience, great features for gaming, and doesn't break the bank, the TCL QM6K is worth considering.
It's a game changer for sure. And it could be the TV that sets the bar for mid-range TVs in 2025. But before we wrap up completely, we have one more part of our deep dive to go. All right, so we've talked about a lot with this QM6K, the surprise launch, the picture quality, the gaming stuff, even those so-so speakers. But I'm curious, have any of our listeners actually bought one yet?
Yeah, I'm curious too. Did anyone jump on that free soundbar deal?
Oh yeah, that soundbar offer was tempting. It was almost like TCL was saying, hey, the picture's awesome, but you might want to boost the sound a bit.
It's true. You get this top-notch visual experience, and then the audio is just kind of there.
Yeah, a bit of a bummer. It really emphasizes how important it is to think about the whole package when you're picking a TV, not just the specs or how big the screen is.
Right. It's about how you're actually going to use it, what you want to get out of it.
Exactly. A good soundbar can make a huge difference, especially if you're a movie buff, a gamer, or, just appreciate good sound.
Totally, it can really change the whole experience. But speaking of changing the experience, let's take a step back for a sec. What do you think TCL is trying to do with this whole QM6K thing? It's more than just releasing a TV, right?
Yeah, it feels like there's a bigger strategy at play here.
Well, it seems like they're going for that mid-range market, trying to be the brand people think of when they want a great TV that doesn't cost a fortune.
Like they did with those budget-friendly models a few years back, the 6 Series and 8 Series.
Exactly. That disrupted the market back then, and they seem to be going for it again. The QM6K has the right ingredients, the visuals, the gaming features, the price, and that whole early release thing.
Yeah, that early release was a power move. While other companies were getting ready for CES, TCL was getting TVs into people's homes.
And it worked. They got everyone talking, tech reviewers, other brands, everyone.
I wouldn't be surprised if other companies start doing the same thing. Early releases, more competitive prices, maybe even more bundles.
And that's good news for us. More competition means better products, better prices, and more options for consumers.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners?
Do your research, figure out what's important to you. Don't just go for the first flashy thing you see.
There are so many great TVs out there now. And if you want a great viewing experience, awesome gaming features, all without spending a ton, the QM6K is worth checking out.
Definitely a game changer. It could be the one that sets the standard for mid-range TVs this year.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive on the TCL QM6K. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you liked what you heard, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.